It's the first South Range coaches shows of the year are in the books. There you saw Donnie Farron and TJ Irons, the volleyball coach for the Raiders this year, as we waited for our featured guest here. Not that everybody's not a featured guest, but well, this one moves the needle seemingly every time he's on because he's one of my dear friends. We can just absolutely take it off script. We can stay on point sometimes. But I will tell you this, one of the most beloved guests on this entire show, and a guy that seemingly takes over the show, the host sometimes, asks his own questions. He walks his to the beat of his drum and his drum alone. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, we get to introduce the brand spanking new coach of the Mineral Ridge Rams, the RWO. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the head coach and my dear friend, Mr. Andrew Hake. What's up, Andy? How are you, buddy?
USA, baby! USA!
Home of Hakeomania. Buddy, it's been a minute. It is football season once again. You made sure that you called me and let me know 100% that you are ready to go. You are excited about this season, as you should be, because when you look at the Ridge roster from last year to this year, there is a significant jump in the numbers. Talk to me about how you were able to recruit your own hallways.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. It's a new year, man. It's a new year. It's a new day, brother. No, hey, it has been, I don't know, man. I have been, it has been a wild summer here. We have been going hardcore since the 1st of June. These kids have been very receptive. Um, we've been going 3-4 hours a night, getting in shape, lifting. We went 4 days a week in June, and then gave them off a week in July, the 4th, and then we came back. We've been hitting it ever since. 2 days was 6 in the morning till noon. Last 2 days was yesterday. And we're into the season, man, and the Middle Ridge football team is ready to rock. We scrimmaged Struthers last week, had a great scrimmage with Struthers. Uh, Very physical, and Struthers is a tough team. They've had a great season last year, and they had some leftovers from last year. They were tough. So we got ourselves better last week, and now we're going to play Southern Local today. And just, hey, man, it's great to be back, DJ. I love you, man. Nobody does it better than you, and this is no joke. You have filled the void of delivering the news and giving us sports. Sports was in trouble when the Vindicator and the Tribune closed. I don't know who was going to give us the sports, and you filled that void like never before. And very appreciative of you and your company. And this is it, man. We're in a new year. New year, and Ridge is we're ready to rock. I know the kids are excited to play tonight, and excited to go next week into Pie Valley, and I know I've been as nuts as ever. So all's right in the universe, right? All's right in the universe.
So, I mean, you have been doing this. I mean, since you were announced as the new coach of Mineral Ridge, there's been an uptick in the excitement, obviously, around the Rams. And foundationally, I think more kids are playing football than ever before because they want to play for you. You build
Well,
the excitement around these. I mean, you're a hometown boy, let's face it, and you're a guy that you embrace the community, even though you were coaching in other places. This is where you started. This is where I saw the pin of the old number one in Mineral Ridge. Um, what is it like for you to come home and to be embraced? And obviously, there's a different set of challenges and expectations that you have and that the public has for you. But man, that's got to be exciting, right?
well, I've always lived in town. Even I've coached most of my career in Mahoning County at in the city of Youngstown, and then I did TCTC a few years, and then I was at reserve for 11, and to come home and teach and be able to teach here, 7th grade, world history. We're going to talk about the right things in class. We're going to raise kids right here, and then be able to coach this football team. It's an honor. It is an honor. It's a blessing, and I look at it honestly as an opportunity for my family and my civic duty to give back to my community. And I'm a Ram, and I'm going to do everything I can to be good to these kids. And we're going to coach them hard, but we're going to treat them right. And, I walked into a good foundation. Coach Shaner did a good job here, getting the kids back going again and getting them out. And hopefully we can build on the traditions here. And um, Middle Ridge is my home. So we got a lot of kids that come out. We were able to talk to a lot of kids. I quit my job in April to come here and substitute teach at the last of April and May. And I thought we did a good job of getting the kids out. And um, now we got to go from there. We got to get stronger. We got to become tougher. And I think these kids have done a lot. Everything I asked them to do. I'm not kidding. I tell the kids all the time here. You would have thought that the way they're working and embracing and treating each other, and you would have thought that this team has been 10-0 the last 4 or 5 years because they've done everything that I've asked them to do for a standard, to have a standard and to reach that standard. And the identity of being tough and running the ball and playing good run defense, that's high school football. That's high school football to me. You have to run the ball and stop the run. And if any team that you see that has success in November and December are teams that are able to do that. So that's going to be our identity, and we're going to go from there, man.
PV's your first opponent. You walk into it. It was on a Thursday night. Now it's on a Friday night. For you, that doesn't change anything with the X's and O's.
Yeah.
But PV is a smash mouth football team, the kind of football that you love playing. How
Yeah.
are the guys going to be ready for that particular Friday night? Oh, in about a week and a day.
We're really excited. Pie Valley, first of all, Pie Valley beat Ridge the first game of the year and the last game of the year last year, and they had a historic season for themselves. They went 9-1 and won some playoff games, and um, I know that they're coached well. Neil Croston is their head coach. He does a hell of a job with them, and I have a lot of respect for them. It's a great week one game. Whoever wins that game is going to get a lot of computer points through the year because I think both teams are going to win some games. Um, but we're not worrying about any other team on the schedule. I know we play United week 2, Conneaut week 3, and then the league starts. We're not worrying about those schools. We're not talking about United and Conneaut, and then we start with Jackson and the league. We're not worried. Those people will be there. We're not even talking about McDonald, and that's always like the game here. That's the game. It's great to play McDonald again. I'll tell you that much. But I saw them up there at our scrimmage at Struthers, and I looked up. I said, "Gentlemen, isn't it wonderful to see each other again?" And they almost smiled at me. They almost smirked. I saw a crack in one of their faces. No, because they're a great rival game. Because they're historically always good. So we're just worrying about Pie Valley, and then after that, worry about United, and then after that, worry about Conneaut. And then Michigan will be there week 10. We know they'll be there week 10.
For you, but is there an excitement about being back, not just home, but playing some of those teams that you've gone to war with, wearing a different ball cap?
I have a lot of respect for all those teams. I've played those teams for years. I know this league as good as anybody. And you have to come ready to play every week, and you have to put your best foot forward. I think the advantage that Middle Ridge might have over some of those schools is numbers. We are able to, talking to Tiger Laverty at Kirtland, what makes Kirtland so good? Well, his best are playing his best every day.
Yeah.
The ones are playing ones. When your number one offense is out there, they're going against the number one defense. And it's a pretty darn good defense. In Middle Ridge, we have two-way players, but they're 1.5-way players. They're starting on one side of the ball, and then they're playing part-time on the other side of the ball. We have a couple war daddies that have to play both sides of the ball, though. Like Chase Moore, he's as good as any lineman I've seen in the last few years. He's our right tackle. He started 4 years here. He's a Division I football player, lineman. Um, and he's a great kid. Oh, my God, he's almost too nice of a kid. When we play, he's tough, but it's like talking to some guy that's on an NFL contract. He'll tell you when he makes mistakes. Oh, I missed the linebacker on that play. I need to do a better job of this. He's just a. It's really cool to see guys that are accountable, hold themselves accountable, and I really feel that the seniors have. The word buy-in. Hey, they bought in. They bought in. You know what? They're kids. Kids want to be treated right. They want an opportunity. They want a fair shake, and then you can ride them as hard as you want. And I feel like that anywhere I've ever coached, whether it's inner city kids or it's suburban kids or from the sticks. They want to be treated fair. They want to be coached hard, and then they want to believe in something. And there's nothing better to believe in than our country. So if you make your program about country, about families, about veterans, about the school, about unity, then you're never wrong. You're never. It doesn't matter. It's not about right or left. It's about the country, and we talk about that here, and the kids have embraced that, and I think they came out to be a part of that. And I'm a wild man in practice. There's times they probably feel like, what the hell am I doing at 6 in the morning up, getting screamed at by this skinny idiot. Um, and it's hard. I find myself like, hey, dude, you got to chill out, man, because. But then I tell the kids, you signed up to play civilian army. You signed up to play civilian war. That like what this is. Football's the one sport where whoever hits and is violent the longest and doesn't make a mistake usually wins. And the conversation itself is a little unnerving to people. Like, we want to raise good boys, and we want to. But what is the sport about? It's about controlled violence, violent sanity. What's it about? It's about those things, and there's a fine line you got to walk. So there's a difference between being degrading to kids and then getting on their butts.
Yeah, degrading versus motivating, right?
There's a line, and I think it takes a teacher and someone that has experience to understand kids and know that line, and then don't cross it. And when you do live in the gray a little bit, you have to be able to talk to kids after practice to have them understand why the heck am I being so radical right now and being so crazy. Um, because why would someone come to practice at 6 in the morning and start hollering and screaming? It's because you're trying to use football to motivate young people to become better citizens, better workers, better countrymen, better students, and one day better fathers. So that's really what it is, and it's a real principled way of approaching things, and that's what we do here. We've got a lot of good guys coaching here. Got a lot of good guys.
I love being kind of tied to the hip with you because everywhere I go, people go, I hear Andy has 60s. I mean, the rumor mill was swirling. I've heard hundreds of kids are showing up at Mineral Ridge practice. For you, that has to be nice to understand that people are believing not only in the community, but what you bring to the community and believing in each other. That's the whole thing for you, is making sure that, to your point, these kids have a foundation of something to believe in, and that's Mineral Ridge as a whole, but specifically football. What are the numbers like for you right now? Do you have can you make an official statement of this is how many kids we have? And, what does it mean to you to have that many kids come out when we haven't seen those numbers in years?
I think there were 70 kids 2 days ago. We took the picture. Now, I haven't seen 70 kids in practice yet, but they came out for the picture.
You just get random kids coming out from.
Hey, come on out, buddy. There's some kids at the ice cream store, and I just told them to come on down and give them a jersey. No, I think there are 70 kids. You miss a kid every day or two. You know what I mean? We've had 65, 68 kids at most practices. But you know what? My thing is this.
That's the high school level too, right?
But my thing is this, and I really am. I think it's important for kids to be on teams, to be on a team and to learn how to cooperate with other people and take command and be a good teammate, be coachable, be a good worker one day. It correlates to being a good family member, being a good citizen, being a good father. Our country's biggest problem in its country, and politicians don't want to say it because they want to get elected. But if they really address fatherless homes, and the lack of male role models um, in the home. I was raised by an American hero, Russ Binky Hake, and my mother, Judy Hake. They're like American heroes. They were special ed teachers for 35 years. Um, I was raised by wonderful people in a wonderful town. Lou Lowry was my head coach, and Randy Cameron and Ron Toth, Rod Heiss. I had great people that were around me as a young kid, and I was shown what it was to be a good citizen and a good family member, a good teammate. And I just was raised a certain way where, and you know what? Not everything I do and I say is they'd probably embrace because I'm hardcore with the country, and sometimes you got to watch that teaching young people because I'm not here to talk about politics. But
Right.
what's wrong with loving your country and what's wrong with loving veterans? Tell me what's wrong. If there's something
Not
wrong
one
with it,
thing.
then I'm wrong. Then I'm wrong. So I just feel that if you talk about, and kids are looking, especially young men, they're looking for leadership because they don't see it. They're not watching TV and seeing it with these crazy people talking to them. They're not saying, I don't want to get into it, but young men are looking for leaders. And when they see somebody that's brash and not afraid to talk about loving their country and loving and appreciating veterans and standing up for the flag and standing up for the nation and the values, um, that I think they're attracted to that and they want to be around that. And they want to be around people that talk like that. They don't want to be told your country sucks and your people that talk like that. Your police are awful. Who the hell wants to be around that? Police aren't awful. Police are your first line of defense for civilization to continue and there's not chaos. And when you talk like that and you live like that, I think people say, "Well, I'm attracted to that." And hopefully we got the kids out. We got all the kids out in town and they're playing hard. A lot of them are first year players and they're learning the ways of the Jedi. So it takes a little bit longer to understand how to use the Force. But we're learning how to use the Force here in Middle Ridge. And hopefully we can unleash the Force on somebody next week. Um, but I will say this, spirits are high and
Good.
we're going to come out and play like hell every week. And I will say this, you can't guarantee 10 and 0, 9 and you can't do that. That's a liar as a coach. But what you can do is this. You can get your kids ready to play like heck every week and have them come out of that locker room and really make your fan base, their parents, their grandparents, the community proud. And if someone's going to win the Mahoning Valley Athletic Conference from now on, they have to beat Mineral Ridge because we're going to be a tough out. We're going to play like heck. We're not going to back down. And if you're going to win the league, you have to beat us. I don't know. I don't know if we can win the league every year. I don't know about that. That's not for me. The kids cast the final vote there. But we're gonna be the team that you have to beat in order to win the league championship. And if you think like that and you go after it like that, then it's big hearts, clear mind. You can't lose. You know what I mean?
I love
That's just
it.
what it is. That's what it is,
Dropping
bro.
absolute gems right now, buddy. I
Well, I
appreciate it.
just hey, look. It's not being. I don't know. It's not being arrogant or cocky because I don't.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
know
I
how
didn't
good
say
we're
that.
going to be. We're not. I don't know how good we're going to be, but I know this. I got kids that are seething to play football, seething to represent their parents and their grandparents and their family and their community and their school. Well, what the hell else is there? What else is there? I don't know
Yeah.
if there's anything else other. What else is more important? Maybe your faith. Maybe that. Well, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer before we come out too, so I'm gonna let you know that too. So I don't know what else is there more important in life. So we have our priorities straight, and the school has really they got all the kids Axiom helmets, they got them all shoulder pads and new jerseys. They put their money where you put your mouth where your money is. So let's go, and let's play ball and. We can lose. We can lose any game that you don't come out ready to play.
But
But
that's a mentality, right? It's not saying that you're going to necessarily beat everybody and being cocky or arrogant. It's saying, hey, you want this championship, it goes through us.
I mean, what is South Range telling their kids? They lost 22 seniors last year. You think Dave Rock's telling his kids, well, we lost our seniors. The brand changes. The brand does not change. The brand does not change. We're going to play like wild animals. We're going to play like a bunch of crazed dogs. And if we have young guys, you got to play crazier. And then we're going to go represent our school and make South Range proud. That's what he's going to do. We're going to take the year off because we lost older guys. No, he has young guys, and they're gonna put lipstick on the pig and make it look pretty as much as they can, even though they're young and they need to find themselves. But I saw his film against Mogador already. They're not those guys are going to play ball. Uniontown Lake better be ready week 1, and then you got to play Salem and Barberton. Well, as far as I'm concerned, those teams are the dog. They're not the favorite. They're the dog going into that game because South Range has a brand. They have a standard. We want to have that standard. We want to have a brand that you have to go through Mineral Ridge to win the league championship.
Well, and that's something that you've always believed in. When you win, say nothing. When you lose, say less.
That's
right? It's
it,
a situation.
Man. And worry about yourself. Don't worry about, hey, Springfield's good. Yes, Springfield's good. They've been good. So what's the deal? Hey, McDonald has Zajac and this Casey Miller and these guys back. Well, yeah, they're good. They're coached by a great coach. It's been there for a long time. They have a standard. They have tradition. You know, Pie Valley has been in the playoffs the last few years, and they've been very tough. United, Ogilvie, always coached well. Don't worry about them. Worry about you. Coach your guys to make it mean a lot to you. Encourage them. Jump their asses when it needs it. That's what needs to happen in our country in order for us to be great again. We have to remember who we are, you know, and then once you remember who you are, live it, man. And
Play
then
your brand
don't
of football.
apologize. Don't be apologizing for coaching guys hard. Now, there's that fine line, and you don't want to cross it. You know, coaching guys hard and then making it personal. That's what you don't want to do. And I think by proper communication with kids and coaches and parents, they understand. I'm from here. I'm lucky that I know the parents coming into the situation where they want me to coach their children, and I grew up with them. So it's
well, you mentioned, see, these kids are going to be playing for obviously the name on the front of the jersey, but there's also a pride for the name on the back of the jersey that they represent, the families they represent. Who are some of those guys that you're leaning on heavily this year that we're going to want to know their names going into next Friday?
Always the seniors, man. It starts with seniors. It starts with 18-year-olds. It starts with Chase Moore. He's a war daddy, right tackle, defensive end. J.J. Sudetic. He's playing center for us. He's a nose guard, defensive end. Kamani Winford Johnson, nose guard, lineman. Alshire, lineman. Culp, lineman. Baylor, lineman. Robinson, lineman. These are seniors. Bingham has to lead us well. He's a quarterback. And then your lineman, Holbrook and Basista, they're running backs, linebackers, and your linemen. It's a game of hitting. It's cute when you're throwing the ball in the summer, and then when the game starts, who's running the ball and stopping the run? That's usually who wins the game and doesn't screw up on special teams. So it's a game of hitting. It's a game of blocking and tackling. It's your seniors and your linemen. And that's just how I grew up. That's how I learned the game. I know it's the right way. And maybe there's a better way. I don't know that way. I just don't know that way. And I know the coaches, the great coaches that I knew growing up, my father, the guys that coached me, the guys that I coach with, Cochran and the guys of Spate and Annarella and, Yeagley. They're going to tell you run the ball and stop the run. If you're a great team, that's what you'll do. So that's what we have to do. And that's the way of the Jedi, bro. That's the way of the Jedi. And that's how you use the Force. And then what I always tell you, man, it's cute to see the dance of the water bug, but the kick of the banshee is what makes the difference. So have the
bestseller on the New York Times list, by the way, that book that came out a few years ago.
Kick of the banshee, the kick of the banshee, the life and times of a Jedi. You know what I mean?
We're getting mixed up with the book.
You got to give respect. I'm worried about Southern Local today. Southern Local is a tough team. They lost their coach, right? I think he's a great coach. He's a great coach. I coached against him for years, and whatever situation happened there, I hope the best for him because he's a good man. But I know they're going through a transition right now with Southern Local, and they're going to come in here in a little bit, and we're going to go against them like they stole something from us. And then after that, count our chips and count our soldiers and arrows and get ready to go for Pymatuming Valley. But it's high school football time, DJ. It's there's no better time. What better time is there, man?
Well, I was going to ask you about a good time that you guys had not too long ago. I mean, I know that you're a guy that wants to showcase greatness above everything else. You talk about your country, you talk about your faith, you talk about families, but you recently had the opportunity to go to Canton to take in the Hall of Fame with. Did you say over 100 of your closest friends and black and orange supporters? What was that like for you? And what did you hope to take out of it? And what did you take out of it?
No, it was a great situation. They had the ceremony, NFL induction ceremony. They got it's in Canton, so we called them and told them, "Hey, we'd love to come." Um, and they had an outreach program. They're willing to have schools go, so they gave us tickets. And they put us on the floor. I saw there were $250 a ticket. They gave us 110. Took the kids down there. They listened to the ceremony, and the one great thing about all the players who get inducted is they're talking about team. They're selfless. It's selflessness. Who are the people that are in the Hall of Fame? Well, people that went above and beyond. Hall of Famers go above and beyond, and they're selfless. It's the attribute. It's if you're going to be a leader, you have to be selfless. And these guys were all leaders in their locker rooms. Great players. Jared Allen. Eric Allen, Antonio Gates, Sterling Sharp. Those were the four, and they're all selfless. Talked about teammates who coached them when they were younger. Um, it's an overall team. It was a great experience, and then the Hall of Fame said they're going to send a Hall of Famer to one of our games and talk to our kids before the game. So I gave them a short list. They can send Ray Lewis before the big game and let him talk to our kids. Who wouldn't want Ray Lewis getting your kids cranked up before you go out and play a big game? You know what I mean? Like, hey, kids, today Uncle Ray's going to talk to you, and I'm just going to leave the locker room. See you on
Just
the
make
field.
sure you count those kids before that speech. That's all I'm saying. I'll leave it
Oh, how
there.
about that? No, they said they're going to send a Hall of Famer here. They gave us all tickets to go to the Hall of Fame afterwards, so we're going to go up there sometime. And, a lot of times if you ask, people say yes. You just got to ask. So, hey, we want to come. And what can we do? Well, here's tickets. And it's like, wow. You know what I mean? You just got to ask. And um, the kids were well behaved. They took it in, and then we're better for it.
I saw pictures with Johnny Knoxville. How'd that happen?
You know what? I'm not kidding. We're standing there, and I turn. I said, "Hey, that's Knoxville." Coach says, "That's not him." I said, "Hey, John." He looked over. I said, "You're a real jackapple." You know what I said. I said, "You're a real jackapple." And he said, "Oh my God!" I started laughing. He went, "Ah!" I started laughing. And then once it was it, all these kids ran over. I got pictures with him. You know what I mean? But he was a funny guy. I said, "What made you come here?" He said, I love the NFL, man. It's a Hall of Fame. I love the NFL." And he liked Antonio Gates from San Diego.
Yeah.
But he's probably buddies. They're all celebrities. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, no, it was a great experience, and it's been a great experience being at home. The community, the administration are all in, and the town's all in. I've been down here this morning since 8, and my 50 people might have come in from town just stopping in saying, "Let's do it, man. Let's do
Do you
it."
feel ready? Do you feel? I mean, I know it comes fast. Do you feel like you're prepared?
I think we're ready to hit someone else. We hit others, and we were hitting them. I think that we've been going at each other since June, um, and we've been working towards a goal. And I think it's kids are sick and tired of listening to me, and I think they want to go after somebody. And it's that time. It's that time. And we're going to make mistakes. And to say you're going to go undefeated or 9-1, I think that things have to fall your way to have special things happen like that. But to say we're going to go out there and we're going to really compete, and if we win, we'll probably win by a few scores, and if we lose, it's going to be tight. And I feel like that when you have a great team. I don't know if we're great yet. We could be great. I don't know. We're not great yet. We're not great. No, we're not. But to say we could be great, we could be great. Now, I don't know. They get to cast the final vote in that. And that's the great thing about sports, especially high school sports. The man in the arena gets to cast the final ballot.
I love it, dude. I'm
I'm got.
excited to have you back.
You need to come to the game tonight. Come on the sidelines. Let's crank it up, DJ.
Let me see what I could do. Little one's got practice. We'll see.
Oh, Big Z. That's right. Has practice tonight.
He got practice. He's part of the Raider gang, and I'm talking
not
about
mad
like
at him.
the
Hey, that's a great game to be a part of. That's a
the
great game to
silver
be
and black attack in the
my
NEO
God.
flag football.
Is that the team he's on?
He's on the Raiders.
Just
So
win, baby. Just win, baby. You know how
he
that
is.
goes.
He's the Kenny Stabler of
Let's
the
go.
7-year-olds.
The snake. Eat the
So,
snake. There's nothing wrong with that.
I love it, dude. I'm excited. If I can get out tonight, I absolutely will. But we are all looking forward to next Friday night where you take on PV. And naturally, everything revolves around football once again right here on YSN. Ladies and gentlemen, the tribal chief of the Middle Ridge Rams, Andrew Tiberius Hake. Thanks,
America,
Andy. Appreciate you, buddy.
baby. America.
There he goes. The GOAT.